Hi, I'm Christina Harmon with Pacific Sotheby's here in Newport Beach. I'm here with Erin Kennedy, a local general contractor, to talk about a major pain point my clients have, finding the right contractor.
Hi, and I'm Erin Kennedy with ATP Builders, and really excited to talk to you today, Christina.
Erin, what do you think makes your approach different?
Oh gosh, Christina. I think our approach is different in that we really make it personal and we really get into how our clients are going to use their home. Often clients have different needs. They have children, and safety is really important, or functionality is really important. Maybe they have a relative that needs to have ADA access to the home. There's just a lot of different individual needs that our clients have, and we try and tailor our services to meet them.
What should a homeowner look for in a general contractor?
Well, I think the interesting thing about hiring a general contractor and then working with a general contractor is that this is a person you will talk to every day and multiple times a day in some projects, and it's really important to find somebody you can work with and communicate with. Whether it be written communication or verbal communication, this is somebody that you really have to communicate well with. So at times that means refining that scope and maybe taking stuff out in the beginning to make sure at the end they're under their budget and financially in the place they wanted to be when they started.
What would you say are the two most commonly asked questions asked by homeowners?
I think that's an easy one. It's how much is it going to cost and how long will it take?
Do you have a range on cost?
Well, cost is a big variable based on a lot of different factors. One is obviously the size of the project. What are we doing to the home? Is it a small renovation, a large renovation? Is it a whole house, or is it we're ground up? All that's going to have a big drive on cost. And then frankly, the bigger component is really in the client's hands, and that is the materials in which they'd like to use. You can buy tile at $1 a square foot up to hundreds of thousands of dollars a square foot. So that client in selecting their materials will really drive that cost more than anyone.
What's a realistic timeline for a ground-up construction or a remodel?
Well, again, time really goes with money. Time also in Newport Beach and some of our other coastal cities, Huntington and Laguna, really has to depend with access. Some homes, plenty of parking, easy to get to, material procurement, drop-offs on a semi are no problem. Other areas, it can be very tight, and things have to be really thoughtfully carried out, and sometimes that can take a little bit of time.
When buying a home, any big-ticket items to be aware of during a home inspection?
There are. There's definitely two, I think, that come to mind most. Certainly, there's a great deal that the inspectors will pick up, and a lot of little things that go into that. But the two big ones would be plumbing and electrical. We definitely recommend in older homes having that sewer inspected and really know that any renovations you do, you're not into replacing mainline sewers, or at least know what it costs to do so. And then electrically, it's very common that probably I'd say over 90% of all kitchen remodels, because of current code, will require a new service upgrade. So that's also something to think about.
What are some common questions people run into, and how can clients best mitigate them either before or during a project?
I think most of the problems that we run into, it really depends on new construction versus renovations. Renovations tend to be more of people change their mind. So I think mitigating those would be spend more time before you start construction to really think through all of the plumbing fixtures, all the electrical finishes and fixtures, and really have a finished product in your head before you start. We see clients make big mistakes when they start construction and they haven't really thought through the various aspects and they don't really have a complete vision. And lots of our clients use Houzz and Pinterest and various other online resources to put together a portfolio for us to really understand their vision.
Is there something you wish homeowners knew before starting a project?
Yeah, I think, again, many of our clients are very experienced homeowners and renovators, But the biggest thing I think they would tell you would be have patience. Things will go wrong. There's a lot of things out of people's control. This is an extremely busy construction market, especially in our coastal area here. And, you know, just sometimes just take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt, and everything does tend to work out in the end.
What can clients do to best communicate with you?
Well, again, communication and collaboration on projects, most important thing. I think being organized, having spent that time early on, really coming up with, you know, pictures of what they're after, really thinking through what is it I want to have this house look like when I move in, and then being able to either communicate that with pictures or written correspondence really helps us execute that vision and avoid costly changes during construction.
What would you tell a first-time home remodeler?
First-time home remodelers, I think, will learn during the process that there's way more decisions involved than maybe they first thought. You know, I tend to try and help clients communicate and educate during that time frame of pre-construction, and, you know, really ask all the questions up front. But there's just a multitude of decisions that go into every project, and if you're starting this for the first time, it's really an understanding of how much time it does take to do a project.
Erin, can you walk me into your process, kind of your first steps and what you do when you first see a client?
Yeah, our process is going to vary, but has the same principles. We start with an identification of what the scope of work is. What do we want to do? Is it a bathroom? Is it a kitchen? Is it the whole house? From there, we determine what is your budget. And that's not just your budget for construction, that's your budget all in. We like to make sure we counsel folks that they're going to want to add things. They're going to want a higher level of finish. And it's real important in those early stages to build in a level of contingency that when the might as wells come up, the funds are available.
Do you ever come to a home inspection?
We do. We actually were at 2 home inspections just last week. Many of our clients are also realtors like yourself, and we value those relationships and like to assist their clients. At times we can help the inspector by maybe just a second set of eyes, or pointing out something that maybe just kind of catches our attention, and we might want to have them investigate that a little further. We also can help your clients you know, come up with that wish list and come up with those items that maybe they'd like to do work on in the near future.
How can clients best get a hold of you?
Well, that's easy. We have a website, and email is erin@atpbuild.com or atpbuilders.com as well. And then my cell phone, 949-887-1777.
Wonderful.